India is definitely emerging as the pickleball giant globally. Pranav, I want to start with you. Pickleball has been around for more than 50 years. Why is it picking up now? I mean, I understand that during COVID it really grew, but even now, we are out of COVID. It remains the fastest growing racket sport in the world. In US, it has practically taken everybody by storm. And in India also, we have seen more than 160% growth in pickleball ecosystem annually. What is fueling this growth?
Yeah, I mean, one of the key things about pickleball is that it transcends gender, socioeconomic backgrounds, body type, and age. So anybody can play pickleball. So if you look at me, I'm today 160 kgs. When I started pickleball, I was 186. So somebody of my body type could get on a court, which again I can't do with any other sport. Any age bracket can play. 4 to 80. Anybody can play the sport. It's easy. Hand-eye coordination allows for that movement, and then also it's less intimidating for women. It's one of those sports where men and women can play together. So practically, my daughter, my wife, and my father and myself, we can all be on a court and enjoy a competitive game of pickleball. So it's very inclusive. Accessibility is a key factor. The cost of infrastructure is, it's not very high. It's fractional. In one tennis court, for example, you can fit 4 pickleball courts from a sizing perspective. And to create it is also not expensive. So I think all of these factors collectively are, fueling the growth, but also consumer behavior across the globe is changing as well, specifically when it comes to sports. So when it comes to sports, a lot of participation is happening in new age sports. And you see that with not just pickleball, but also paddle. And what has happened is across the globe, everybody is, during COVID, looked for a new hobby category. And that's why, Peloton grew from a cycling perspective. Nobody knew indoor cycling could be so big, right? And pickleball is one of those sports which got the fancy of a lot of people because of its inclusive nature. And that's how the sport is grown.
The most important is to make the 8-year-old children or 10-year-old children to start playing the sport in schools, in districts, in colleges, so that the sport grows from the grassroots development, setting academies, getting foreign coaches over here from US to train them, and that is a structure we're working with. And Indian Pickleball Association along with the Times Group at PWR is helping this growth of the ecosystem of the sport by developing the sport right from grassroots, by creating the infrastructure, getting the right coaches and getting the right tournaments and getting the right sponsors, and working strongly with the Asian Pickleball Association and the Global Pickleball Federation to also take it to the Olympics as well. And that's the dream of us as a group as well, to have pickleball as an Olympic sport in 2036 when it happens in India. Pranav, would you like to add to that vision as well about?
Yeah, I mean, it's a single point agenda, 2036 Olympics in India, and pickleball to be an Olympic sport by then, and India to have its first gold medal in pickleball in 2036 Olympics. I think that's the vision we're kind of following.
Rohit, you have decades of experience in dealing with brands, marketing, brand positioning. Pickleball, like Adi also mentioned, it's actually the next big thing after cricket. How are brands looking at this sport? Because I've seen, I keep watching on Insta also, so many celebs and corporates are actually warming up to the idea. So what is your experience?
Okay, so let me start this way. What I've seen from a media perspective, because when I'm talking about, when I was in Star TV, when I'm talking about IPL when it launched, whichever way, I feel disruption is innovation. Okay, and people who are able to get there in terms of ahead of time are the ones who are reaping the benefits right now. Like people, if you look at IPL today, if somebody wants to get into IPL final, getting an ad spot, even, it's too high compared to what it was when it started. Actually year on year, the value chain is going on increasing. Now, let me give you some examples, which then I will tell you why the brands should be looking at this as an opportunity. If you look at IBM wanting to be with tennis as a sport, they have no connect. But today when you think of Wimbledon, IBM is going to be there as part of a sponsor. Or Rolex, for example. Every sport has time limit, right? Be it football, be it cricket, be anything. But Rolex understood how to, use the time, clock at the tennis to ensure that the branding is elevated, right? So it's all about identifying what is happening. See, honestly, I really cannot tell any brand today that this is the number going to be tomorrow. But I can tell this much because of what Adi and Pranav was talking, the value of, I think accessibility of the sport, the number of people who have started playing this sport, right? I can give you examples of local tournament which is happening. My colleagues, 9th standard kids did a pickleball event. And there were a lot of local brands who used that opportunity to be at that venue, right? So when people like us, I'm talking about like Times Group being in partnership with Pranav and Adi, when we get into something like this kind of a sport, we know why we are getting into it because I think the narrative is very clear. We feel this is going to be the next big sporting event which will happen for us.